Kameme TV.
Nigekeno kinene gukorwo tukinyitanira nawe miaraho ino ya umuthi thiini wa ceceni wendete ya Kameme TV ni twagiukana tafarira ya Ndurumeni Matuuraini tukihungure maturaini matiganite ma bururi tukimenya uria bururi uragithie na mbere na gukigariura ngakunyita ugeni umuthi uyu ari gatano ga kiumia tariki 24 mweri-ini wa 11 kana ukienda na gigikuyu wa kanyua hungu ni Ndurumeni Matuuraini nie ngikunyita ugeni njitagwo Gathoni wa Ng'ang'a tugukorwo tukinyitanira na andiki aito a mohoro kuma ituri-ini itiganite cia bururi uyu tukimenya uria kuragithie na mbere na gukigariura tukiambiriria na kaunti-ini ya Naikuru sekta ya ugendi nitanyitwo kugacira kaunti-ini ya Naikuru riri agendi na athaki a muthako wa golf matanyitwo kunyita itemi mambura-ini ma gukungwira miaka 100 ya kirabu kia muthako wa golf kia Naikuru. Mambura maya matanyitwo kurehe hamwe anyiti itemi matiganite kuma sekta-ini ngurani guku sekta ya mikawa igitanywo kugunika na njira nene. Tunyitanire na mwandiki witu wa Njeri wa Kariuki uria uri thiini wa kiharo-ini kia golf mwena wa Naikuru. Kwa ihinda riri wa Njeri wa Kariuki no gitutaririe maria maragithie na mbere megie ukungwiri uyu wa golf.
Golf Club gira gikorwo gikingwira miaka 100 kuma riria gikorwo gikianjiriria mihang'o ino ya guthaka mubira uyu hihi magitanya gukorwo ati nimegukorwo na makiria ma ahuri a muthako uyu wa golf kwa makiria ma 300 hihi magikorwo na kindu twitaga tournament iria rakianjirie muthenya wa ira ibatie gukorwo igithii na mbere muthenya wa rucio na muthenya wa rucio hihi niguo uhoro uyu gagikorwo ugikirirwo gaturumo na tugikorwo tukiona ahotani a muthako uyu wa golf. Gathoni ni mubira ugikorwo ukinyitithania athuri na atumia aria magikorwo magithaka thiini wa tournament ino thiini wa kiharo giki gia Nakuru Golf Club na ni undu wa kwiganira undu wa gwitira ta kaunti ya Nakuru tondu to andu kuma bururi wa Kenya magikorwo magithaka ni maratanya ati kwina athaki gikuma itiro citiganite thiini wa East Africa na Africa ya irathiro hihi magitanya guka makionania ujuzi wao wegemainie na mubira uyu koguo ni undu tuguthi na mbere kwa tukirumanira naguo tugieterera hihi athaki a otoria muhuri wa kwambisha no kurage kuonia andu ni makianjitie gukorwo magithaka mubira uyu hihi magithie na mbere gukorwo mundu hihi agika ngerenwa yake ni maundu ni anyitite mini aingi makire thiini wa ni anyitite mini aingi makire thiini wa tournament ino kwina kambuni tiganite cigikoretwo cikihumbite riri igongona riri itanyene ria gukorwo makihumba riri noguo waikorwo kiuga mundu gwitwa Gathoni kaunti ya Nakuru ni kiwe gitiagira gukorwo kaunti iri gikoragwo na ugendi na njira nene ugendi thiini andu thiini guku kuma bururi-ini hihi na nja wa bururi koguo wagakirahira tondu ni turakimenya ati oria agendi maragikorwo makiingiha thiini wa bururi uyu witu kana thiini wa kaunti ino itu ya Nakuru maundu no meguthie na mbere na gukorwo makigunika hihi tuthie tukunyitanira no mwe wa athaki thiini wa mubira uyu wa golf agitwire uria magitanyite gukorwo magithaka mubira uyu na hihi maragibanga atia hihi ni ukuguhiriria ukwenja na ritwa riaku no korwo gitwira mubira uyu wa golf wanjiririe miaka 100 muraigua ate mwita kirabu kia golf kia Naikuru
amaritwa njitagwo Francis Mwangi turaigua turi andu akenu muno ni undu wa gu celebrate miaka iyo twina 100 kuma kirabu kia Naikuru kiambiriria.
Hihi mubira uyu kana tournament ino ri mutanyite gukorwo mwina andu aigana thiini wa tournament ino negathira ri
tugukorwo twina andu aingi tondu no tukorwo na twi makiria ma andu 200 na twinayo kuma ira umuthi na rucio niguo gakorwo climax
mukuruhanitie atumia na athuri kana mukuruhanitie irabangwo atia mubira uyu?
Mubira nduri gender ni wa andu othe, koguo turi atumia, athuri na ciana, andu othe.
Akoguo nginya tournament ina ciana?
Ciana ti turi atunini muno, no niko kiri ciana iria ciitagwo youth. Acio ni ready guthaka.
Thank you. Gathoni njitikiria ngoro ngiaraniria na ungi mubira uyu wa golf ni ukiui tene wakiragwo ni mubira wa arume, no haha urakinywo na ndukiri na mundu agenda ya mutumia iya agitwire niki kia muguciriirie gukorwo agithaka mubira na hihi kana ni agukorwo akihusicio thiini wa tournament ino. Labda utaanza na jina lako, natuambie umekuwa kwa kucheza golf kwa muda gani, na labda uko kwa hii tournament ya miaka 100?
Mimi ndo nina kwa majina naitwa Winnie Washira, na actually mimi ndo ninapanga hii tournament, kwa hivyo leo sitacheza. Lakini golf ni mchezo mzuri sana na iko na excitement sana, and we are happy to celebrate 100 years. Yay.
Gathoni na muroreri wa Kameme TV uguo niguo gukihana thiini wa kiharo giki gia Nakuru Golf Club. Hihi mithako no irathi na mbere, hihi magietha gukorwo magietha hotani aria magakorwo makirirukia bendera ya kirabu giki muthenya wa rucio, magitanya gukorwo makirahira gukorwo magithaka mubira uyu. Na nitwakuthii na mbere na gukorwo tukimenyithia muroreri wa Kameme TV hihi thiini wa bulletin itu ya mathako uria maundu maya meguthii na mbere, na hihi muhatani agagikorwo ari thiini wa muthako. Reke gucokeria mwaro yakwa ni wa Njeri wa Karuki kuma kaunti ya Naikuru.
Ni ngatho muno makiria wa Njeri wa Kariuki. Ni riboti yo kuona sekta ya ugendi ni igukorwo ikigacirithio riri muthako wa golf uragithie na mbere, na riri athaki maragikungwira miaka 100 kaunti-ini ya Naikuru thiini wa kirabu kia Nakuru Golf Club. Tukihugukira riboti ingi, mucirithania munene Martha Kameme kwa ihinda riri aratongoria mihango ya kurekereria riboti igie mirutire ya wira ya ruhonge rwa igoti o ndumwe na kuruguria mubango wa miaka 10 wa uruti wa wira wa ruhonge ruru. Igongona riri rikinyitio ni minista munene Musalia Mudavadi, uria wari mucirithania munene hau kabere Dr. Willy Mutunga na David Maraga. Reke tuthie mwe kwa mwe tuthikiririe maria marahanika kwa ihinda riri.
The chair of the forum, who happened to be the Chancellor of Germany, allowed the participants to make contributions. But the question they asked was, why would we want to be interested in investing in your country? So as each respondent came up with their remarks, I'll not mention the names of the country, but one of them said that my country is the best to invest in because in the last 15 years we have had free and fair elections and transitions. It's a big country, but they talked of the last 15 years. Then it occurred to me that in Kenya, we are celebrating 60 years. And in spite of the minor hiccups or challenges that we have had over time, we have actually held elections virtually every 5 years. Not the best. I'm sure the judges sitting in this room have come across very many petitions from different angles with people raising concerns. But nevertheless, we did have those elections. So that, in my view, was a major observation. We may not speak to it, but just think about it. You have actually held your elections on schedule, by and large. Now, the other thing that I just want to pick up from Madam Amadi's remarks, she said that she has now, or the judiciary has now established the guidelines for the ceremony when there's transition, because she has been privileged to have been part of the transition of two presidents. I'll be looking for you, because the law that we have, that is the assumption of office law, focuses literally on a ceremony. By and large, it's a ceremony. But there's a very big lacuna that I think we should now address collectively. And that is the transformation or the transition of executive power. There's no law that really guides that. Ni kienyeji tu. It is important because there are fundamental questions. When should a minister step out of office? When there's a change of government? Does he do any handing over formally? Or does he just disappear with the files and records? What about the PSs, the principal secretaries? There's a very serious gap there, and a lot of things happen. And you will recollect that in the transition that we went through, the President of Kenya had been sworn in on September 13th, after the judicial process. But Gazette notices were still coming out, appointing people to various positions after the new president has been sworn in, and Gazette notices are being churned out or doled out of people getting appointments under previous hand. We reached a stage where we also experienced a situation where I'm a layman, but I'm made to believe that if the chairman of the Electoral Commission has gazetted who is the winner, or has actually signed off so that for gazettement the results of who has won an election, it should be gazetted. But we had a situation where the government printer was actually dilly-dallying to gazette the results, and when we found out where he was holed, he said he was still waiting for instructions. From who? Now, I'm bringing this out just to say that we still have some challenges, and with the legal minds here, let us continue to make Kenya better. Let us continue to elevate and escalate our own rules and regulations so that we can become indeed that country, that beacon that we would all want to be proud of now and for the future, for the young man Otieno there and his colleagues wherever they are. So it is now my privilege to be part of the launch of the social transformation through access to justice, Blueprint 2023 to 2033, and the presentation of the annual state of the Judiciary and Administration of Justice report for the financial year 2022-2023. God bless Kenya. God bless the judiciary. Asanteni sana.
Thank you. Thank
you very much, Your
Minister
Excellency.
Munene Musalia Mudavadi ari igongona-inĩ kana akirekereria ndũmĩrĩri yake igongona-inĩ rĩrĩa rĩgĩthaganĩtio nĩ mũcirithania mũnene Martha Koome ũrĩa agĩtanyĩtwo gũkorwo agĩtongoria mĩhang'o-inĩ ya kũrekereria riboti ĩgiĩ mĩrutĩre ya wĩra ya rũhonge rwa igoti ũndũ ũmwe na kũrugũria mũbango wa mĩaka 10 ya ũruti wa wĩra wa rũhonge rũrũ. Nĩ riboti ĩrĩa tũgũgĩthiĩ na mbere na gũgĩkũhinyĩria kuona nĩ riboti ĩno ĩgũkorwo ĩkĩrekererio mahinda o mothe. Kwa ihinda rĩrĩ tũgũkorwo tũkĩhũgũkĩra riboti ĩngĩ mũtũhoi mwerekera ndikana tũgũgĩcoka mĩhang'o-inĩ ĩyo ya gũkĩrekereria riboti ĩgiĩ mĩrutĩre ya wĩra ya rũhonge rwa igoti igongona rĩrĩa rĩragĩtongorio nĩ mũcirithania mũnene Martha Koome na igongona rĩrĩ rĩkinyĩtio nĩ minista mũnene ũrĩa wakĩrĩkia kũrekereria ndũmĩrĩri yake Musalia Mudavadi na ũrĩa warĩ mũcirithania wa hau kabere Ndagĩtarĩ Willy Mutunga ũndũ ũmwe na David Maraga. Reke tũgĩcoke okuo tũgĩthikĩrĩrie marĩa maragĩthiĩ na mbere kwa ihinda rĩrĩ.
To the judiciary, but indeed joins in the discussion and in the whole of government approach component of national development. Thank you, Excellency Sir, for your inspiring speech. Allow me now to welcome the Deputy Chief Justice, Honorable Lady Justice Philomena Mbetemwilu, to guide and to welcome the Chief Justice to deliver the soldier and stage. My lady.
The Honorable the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya and the President of the Supreme Court, the Honorable Chief Justices Emeritus, Your Excellency Prime Cabinet Secretary, the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, the Governor of Nairobi, my colleague judges, our friends. Is anybody in the house not, is there anyone in the house who is not a friend of the judiciary? Just wondering. I don't know whether I heard right, but I think I heard that I have to guide the CJ. I'm not quite sure I know what that means. But I'll do the following. I will speak on the day that I think, and I have said before, outside of the days that we make judgments, this is the most important day of the judiciary, where we come to return to Kenya and to her people an account of what we have done in the preceding 364 days. A day when, if we were living in those other days, we would be talking about the pound of flesh. And standing where I do, I want to extend a warm welcome to you all on this most auspicious occasion, the simultaneous presentation of the judiciary's annual soldier report and the launch of the institution's strategic blueprints for the next 10 years. It is supposed that the two documents are being launched together, and that's deliberate. The SOJA annual report provides a detailed snapshot of the status of the judiciary and frames the justice context from the judiciary's perspective. Taking this context into account, the strategic blueprint contains the activities and interventions the judiciary shall undertake over the next 10 years to deepen, enrich, expand, and improve access to justice and the rule of law in our country, not as an end in and of itself, but towards the positive social transformation of society. Particularly since the promulgation of the Constitution in the year 2010, the judiciary has been on a trajectory of transformation. The first blueprint, the JTF, the second, the SJT, and now this, the third one, the STAJ. As you are well aware, the judiciary has been implementing the STAJ vision since its launch in September 2021. Since then, research and consultations have been ongoing that have resulted in the blueprint being launched today that contains the precise methodology, activities, and interventions that will be implemented to deliver the people-centered justice outcomes in the STAJ vision. The development of this strategic blueprint represents an important milestone for the leadership and management of the judiciary and shall reinvigorate our reform agenda across the judiciary. The product of a highly collaborative and consultative process, the STAJ blueprint provides the foundation upon which we shall all endeavor to fulfill our constitutional responsibility and covenant with the people of Kenya for an independent institution of excellence in the delivery of justice for all. The people-centered justice approach under STAJ is truly groundbreaking. It represents a recalibration of both our ethos and the practice of justice. Whilst we have been engaged in practices that might have been people-centered, with people-centered justice elements, the STAJ is a deliberate and structured statement and toolkit to ensure that all our activities and interventions are people-centered and result tangible and measurable, socially transformative outcomes. Building from the judiciary's transformation gains over the past decade, thank you, Chief Justice Mutunga, for starting this for us. The STAJ blueprint draws significantly from the wider global people-centered justice movement, but goes beyond it. To mention a few, there are exciting ideas and proposals on the roles of judges, judicial officers, and the judiciary, on agency, and the justice assets and capabilities.
Aya nĩ ndũmĩrĩri yake akirekereria ũmũthĩ mũnini wa mũcirithania munene niwe Philomena Mwilu arĩ igongona-inĩ rĩrĩa rĩgĩtanyĩtwo kũrekererio kwa riboti ĩgiĩ mĩrutĩre ya wĩra ya rũhonge rwa igoti ũndũ ũmwe na kũrugũria mũbango wa mĩaka 10 wa ũruti wa wĩra wa rũhonge rũrũ. Nĩ tũgũkorwo tũgĩcokereria ona mũcirithania Martha Koome akĩambĩrĩria gũkĩrekereria riboti ĩno. Reke twambe tũgĩikĩrie oro hanini, nĩ tũgũcokereria thutha wa ihinda rĩtarĩ coho.
Kameme TV. identify yourself.
Listen up, ladies and gentlemen.
Oya mzito. Wewe, hebu kam nikuplug. Niko na ile kitu imebamba kila mtu kutoka Maslay Queen wote hadi wazae. Hii kitu ni noma kuruka. Kitu kali itakupeleka dunia ingine. Hii stuff ni kama magic. Ni wewe tu umebaki mse. Hapa utaweza kuexperience EPL yote. Magame haziwezi kupita na pia unaweza pata ma statistics manze. Na bado kuna ma movies, series, soaps, cartoons na documentaries. Na kama wewe ni msichana like ma podcast, live radio, DJ mixes na hata live television, hapa uko sorted. Na unajua ni aje? Ni sare. Ni sare kabisa. Download the K24 Plus app upate free premium shows bila kesi.
Stream premium content popote ulipo. K24 Plus. Come nikuplug.
Akili, uyone akili, na thire,
Uge wina gwonde umenyo. Nikio Kameme TV choko tafarira jeru ya ciana ya Akili Kids.
Akili.
Riu ciana ciothe nĩ cikuhĩrĩrie nĩguo tũthome tũganikie meciria.
Enyera. Gunea geshika. Geshika.
Na tũcanjamũke kĩrĩu na Akili Kids.
Ifuku. Sukuru.
O mũthenya wa Jumamothi kwa bidhaa ila tunarudi cia rũcinĩ gũkũ kwa Kameme TV mũthegi wa rũrĩrĩ.
Akili. No hena odo mwe wathe.
Tafarira ya mwigariko wa mathako na iria igukinyagira oro muthenya wa Jumamothi miarahuko.
Has a go, brilliant.
Timu ya Manchester United nayo inapoteza odo ugagi methakitha ina game 12 tari irahotwo cia ligi.
Ndaigua ndagweta horo wigi kirimi gia timu iria yarota inyuothe mwatheka pira kuringana na uria nie njui na watho wa FIFA fati guthaka under natural condition haria turehaga athaki timu cia mupira anyiti itemi mathako matiganite.
Hii ndio igeni ngumi na ukata kona namna hii.
Na gũkũ tutioyaga gathako na ithako mathako mothe haha niho tukurehagira na njĩra ĩrĩa yagĩrĩire.
Tugagicokereria oro ringi ni Ndurumeni Matuuraini. Thutha wa kigeranio gĩa KCPE gukinya muthia riu arutwo megukorwo makiingira mutaratara-ini wa CBC na kuria moretie thirikari iguithie ngarama iria koretwo igumeire mathomo maya. Aciari kaunti-ini ya Kirinyaga ni maheanite mawoni matiganite megemainie kana mamwe ma maundu maria mangienda mekirwo mogaruruku niguo kuhuthia ngarama ino. Mwandĩkitwo kuma kaunti-ini ya Kirinyaga Wainaina wa Kiarie ni akinyitanirie na aciari kuma kaunti-ini ino aria maragitariria mendekithia ma mogaruruku maria mangienda mako makigacirithio mutaratara-ini wa githomo wa CBC. Wainaina wa Kiarie mwaroni waku.
Aya muthenya wa ira maumirira ma KCPE magikiuma ni gukenania ati ucio niguo muthia wa kigeranio gia KCPE kana mutaratara uria wa kiriho wa mathomo wa 844 kuona ati riu arutwo marigikoragwo magikinya kirathi kia grade 6 magigithie junior secondary no kwa hinda riri aciari kaunti-ini ya Kirinyaga makiri na mawoni magitiganite kuona ati kigeranio gia KCPE kana kirathi gia kana na gia githira no kuingira mutaratara-ini wa CBC no tondu makiri ha magitwe mawoni mao makigikana ni maragikinyita mbaru mutaratara uyu wa CBC na maundu mariko magikienda hi thirikari igikorwo igikimurika ukembia na maritwa maku na igigitutariria kigeranio gia KCPE gukorwo gigithira kana kirathi gia kana gukorwo gigikinya muthia hihi mathomo maya ma CBC weta muciari uramona atia?
Mathomo acu maritwa makanitwa Peter Keiro. Mathomo acu maroneka ara turambiriria next year kana mwaka tuthiite ni mathomo mekura memega na ningo ciokera President Uhuru ngatho tondu uratire mathomo acio ni kuonania mwana ura wi thukuru twambirie mathomo acio mwaka ucio tuthiete ni ekwambiria nekora na material ara magirire tondu kwina gutuma makoi cia mithemba na mithemba na mithemba no ni we wega ura tungienda kwira thirikari ra iguo riu ndatikeno irore muciari wa kawaida muciari ena thina na marore makontrol kithomo gigatuika ni kithomo kia umagendo kana ni kithomo kia maundu matagirire marore macinani mundu wa macinani no rawe ngitha tauni mone kithomo thiku ici kina goro na kina hinya kwao ni tukwenda ithi twi aciari turore mathomo ara maroka next here turoretwe kimbia twigananio kimbia tondu tungithi ura kuthiite kana president ura natuire kana githomo muciari no gukora akiribira ni kuonania ciana ira gukora ciana ira igukora igithoma ni ciana cia itonga na amaririkane kana ciana cia athini ira cikora macinane nicio ikorwa na material na icio ikorwa cinje kana icio ikorwa cinjugi kwa president ni ngumuria na heshima kithomo aigananie na kuthi otambira tondu Uhuru anaugite arutaga mbia cia thukuru ciana igathoma ko turenda ciana ithome ciothe cikorwe cinjega
weta muciari urendekithia ringi murigo uria ukoretwo he muciari mathomo-ini maya ma CBC ukorwo ukinyihia gutireko gukiri na maundu maingi
next year kithomo kira tuthiete mathomo ara meku makorwo me manini rugiko tuigongere maundu maingi tuongera maundu maingi tukuthuia kithomo tondu muciari ena thina na ena ruo muciari aretha kindu gia kuria muciari aretha kindu gia kunywa ena ciana ingi cie mucie kwa tumaroreri aciari maikapinirio ni kithomo giturathi gikorwo gi kithomo kiega na ni tugukena
aya thengio muno twikira ni no giukembia na maritwa maku na hiyo gituhe woni waku akire mathomo maria turagikigira mathomo ma CBC kuona ati riu kirathi gia kana ni gikinyite muthia
nie njetaga mucira wa giceru kana ringi wa giceru muturi wa kirugoya ni ura ndengienda kuga mwena ni wigie kithomo giki ya CBC ni the beneficiary wa ACP ira ari ya mwisho ya 1983 na tweka subject ithatu mathabu kithungu na general paper ya combination ya geography na history na science na kithomo kiu gari kibuthu muno tondu subject icio ithatu ona mundu ndakoragwa akinoga ugithie study alafu gugioka kindu gitagwa 844 irathirire 1985 nayo igikorwa ina maundu mingi muno mongagirirwa kindu kiretwa home science gutuma maundu mangi riu ona ara mathoma bindio makigua kithomo giki ni kioma muno tondu kina maundu mangi mingi muno riu ora ndengienda kuga tondu 844 ni irathirire ira replace ni CBC yo ugioka itigoke costly muno ko muciari gutuike riu ati ni murigo muciari ongererwa kuri uria ungi especially tariu twina a lot of economic hardships ucoke gutuike ati kuna iondo cingi cioka kuongererwa angagura giki gura kiria ukaragwa ni ta exorbitancy ibo kana a sort of witio wa mbeca wa muthemba thirikari no nyende igerie kwiganania kurora welfare wa muciari na uboro wa gwitia kiria iretia kana ikorwe ikirora welfare ya muciari maunduni no ti mwana akaovarundagwa at the expense ya muciari o tarigu rigua ati tarigu guthoma ngatheti barangi igua kwina kindu kiretwa Social National Insurance Fund ati nao ni mandatory no nginyagia urive ngari uku na mbere iyo ni changi ingi mara NSSF mara maundu mangi ni uke tutikumichareji tutingira gu support thirikari ira iku no itigoke eta cost kwi muciari ikorwo ni another unbearable burden kwi muciari
na tondu ringi mathomo maya ma CBC maingi megukorwo ari practicals ni onaka megukorwo mena uguni ringi wa gukuria taranda cia ciana na ni megukorwo magibundithia maundu ma ugituma na maundu mangi onaka megukorwo magikuria nginya ciana kimuturire
kuringana na mathomo acio megukorwo me practical bau no njikire thirikari right tondu mwana egukorwo practical na kindu kiria talented umenye riu kugacira muturire ni gukorwo kurindu ithatu kithomo biacara kana talent. Talent nä kä å ndå ta kä u rä u mwana wakorwo ombä two akä enda gå tuma athiä gå tuma kå rä a na tondå nathire kå thoma å cio wä ra wake ä o ta å rä a må ndå athiaga kå thoma ndingiri ya wä ra å rä endaga ä agakorwo negwä ka atä nekå thi wega na nekå excel.
Aya, thengiå må no å cio nä woni wa aikari a kaunti ya Kirinyaga makiria aciari hakiri mutaratara wa githomo wa CBC uria tugwika twikira kuona ati riu mutaratara wa githomo wa 844 ni wikinyite muthia kuma kaunti ya Kirinyaga kigucokeria moro mwena waku wa studio.
Nĩ ngatho nyingĩ mũno makĩria Wainaina wa Kĩarie nĩ riboti ĩyo kuma kaunti-inĩ ya Kirinyaga. Rĩu ndĩrenda tũkorwo tũgĩthiĩ ĩmwe kwa ĩmwe nginya kaunti-inĩ ya Nyĩrĩ kũrĩa mwandĩki mũkaru rũhonge-inĩ rwa Cabinet Affairs ekinyĩtie nĩguo gũkorwo akĩhinga thukuru cia kothi cia moko kana TVETs kaunti-inĩ ya Nyĩrĩ. Ndĩrenda tũkĩrũge mwena ũcio tũgĩthikĩrĩrie marĩa maragĩthiĩ na mbere thĩinĩ wa kaunti ĩno.
And that of your institutions speaks volumes about the dedication to this particular exercise. I understand that there are representatives from different agencies and institutions, so I really want to thank you for your valuable time. And you made your time to come here because we have invited some institutions, but they haven't made it here. And some of them have been calling. They want to come, but you're telling them the door is closed. We can't do it with you again. There are some which we haven't invited, and they want to be part of this exercise because they have seen that this is an important target in the PC, and they need to understand on how to go about. In recognizing the mandate of the State Department for Cabinet Affairs of overseeing public reforms, I am honored to inform you that the head of state is aware of this significant national exercise and acknowledges the collective efforts being made towards enhancing productivity in public sector. The Kenya Vision 20 recognizes that Kenya's main potential lies in its people, their creativity, work ethic, education, their entrepreneurial and other skills. This vision opines that one of the main challenges is the need to carry out an assessment on productivity levels across all sectors and monitor that productivity growth. The ballooning wage bill, which currently stands at 46% against the revenues, this is against the recommended standard. According to the PFM Act, we're supposed to operate at 35%, not 46%. But you can see we are now 11% up. So this amount caters for salaries and wages for public servants. To address this problem, to address this, productivity enhancement in the public sector is one of the measures that we have put in place. Productivity gains are expected to enable our economy to produce more for the same amount of inputs. So the aim here is to have that productivity gain helping us expand our economic capacity, our economic growth, our economic development with the same, to produce the same for the same amount of input, or in the other words, we consume less with the same amount of outputs, or having less cost for more inputs. That's why this training forms a critical part of public sector reforms that is geared towards operational efficiency. Thus, this training forms part of a critical public sector reforms geared towards, number one, operational efficiency, whereby this now we are talking about cost. Cost reduction is the main thing. Maybe we are spending out of money in operational expenses. That's why we are not getting value for the work done in this country. The other span is labor efficiency, where equality, where we are talking about the delivery of service to wananchi. Are we doing it right? Are we providing the right service to wananchi? Are we serving them right? That is one of the questions that the public sector reform is going to address. And lastly, we have customer satisfaction in terms of quality. Are we providing quality service? Are we providing competitive services to wananchi? That is why we are advocating for the reforms. As a productive mainstreaming technical committee, the facilitators of this particular exercise were drawn from the State Department for Cabinet Affairs, Salaries and Remuneration Commission, the National Productivity and Competitiveness Council, that is NPCC, and the State Department for Performance and Delivery Management. We have made significant progress in alignment with our action plan and the 20th cycle of performance control.
Kwa ihinda rĩrĩ ndĩrenda tũkorwo tũkiuma Nyĩrĩ tũthiĩ ĩmwe kwa ĩmwe nginya kaunti-inĩ ya Nairobi kũrĩa mũcirithania mũnene Martha Koome aragĩtongoria mĩhang'o ya kũrekereria riboti ĩgiĩ mĩrutĩre ya wĩra ya rũhonge rwa igoti ũndũ ũmwe na kũrugũria mũbango wa mĩaka 10 wa ũruti wa wĩra rũhonge-inĩ rũrũ. Reke tũthiĩ ĩmwe kwa ĩmwe tũgĩthikĩrĩrie ndũmĩrĩri yake kana kũrekererio kwa riboti ĩno.
From former justice system is left behind. When we were developing these documents, we wanted to say we will meet the justice needs of all Kenyans. And some of us kept on reminding us, we are not God. We cannot meet all the needs. So we are also inviting God in our midst to help us meet the needs, the justice needs of all our people. In effect, today marks the beginning of a new transformative trajectory for the judiciary, one where the spirit of service becomes the defining feature of our institution as we work to improve our people's justice journeys. Going forward, as judges, judicial officers, and judiciary staff, we are committed to put the people at the center, to put their justice needs at their center, and to respond to their aspirations and their expectations. All the decisions that we make must address their needs. Therefore, as we unveil the Judiciary's 2022-2023 State of the Judiciary and Administration of Justice report, and the Judiciary's 10-year strategic blueprint, social transformation through access to justice, 2023 to 2033, we are entering a new era. And I'm happy you have joined us to enter this era together, an era where justice is a right for all, not a privilege for a chosen few. In presenting the State of the Judiciary and Administration Report 2022-2023, we are reaffirming our commitment to transparency and accountability. This report narrates our journey, highlighting both our achievements and challenges in the last financial year. In the financial year 2022-2023, our courts saw cases filed 423,394 new cases were filed. Ladies and gentlemen, 419,262 of them were resolved, which means 99% case clearance rate. You need to appreciate the judiciary for that. This rate of case clearance marks a 5% improvement from the previous year. Additionally, the judiciary reduced its case backlog, case pending for a year, by 18% from 336,119 to 276, 678 cases. That is something also to acknowledge, especially for the judges who are present here, because they work their fingers to the bone trying to meet the deadlines and reduce backlog. I am internally so grateful to the judges, judicial officers, our tribunals, our magistrates, our caddies, for your handwork. Thank you very much. The judiciary implemented initiatives to expand access to justice, notably enhancing court-annexed mediation. We have, Your Excellency, our chief guests, the Chief Cabinet Secretary, 17 new mediation registries, leading to a significant increase in mediation cases. A total of 4,708 matters were referred to mediation, almost doubling the previous year count of 2,445. Of these, 4,450 cases were successfully settled. The average settlement rate for court-annexed mediation was an impressive 95%, highlighting its effectiveness as an avenue for dispute resolution. I really thank the committee that has led the court-annexed mediation, led by the Honorable Mr. Justice Ochieng. I don't know whether he is present in this congregation, but we thank everybody who has supported that effort. Additionally, our efforts in mainstreaming alternative justice system have also been fruitful. We developed and launched NJS county action plans in counties like Kajiado and Nakuru. We also established NJS Ukumbi suites in Isiolo, Kajiado, Nakuru, Mpeketoni, thereby enhancing the ability of the people to resolve their own disputes independently. And in this regard, I wish to recognize in a very, very special way the committee led by the Honorable Professor Joel Goge and the elders I see here for this great work. We recognize you in a very, very special way for this ingenious innovation whereby we innovated how we can deliver justice in our own way. The judiciary has significantly advanced its use of technology to improve access to justice. This includes the introduction of e-filing in 6 additional counties beyond Nairobi, digitizing court records, and expanding virtual courts for better efficiency, effectiveness, and accessibility. Moving on, we expect to have all court stations nationwide onboarded to e-filing by the close of the quarter of 2024, up to the current 11 counties. Furthermore, through another innovation, the Mahakama Popote initiative, we are leveraging virtual courts to boost our efficiency and reach. Under this program, judicial officers from less busy courts handle cases from busier courts using virtual platforms. This approach has not only helped in reducing case backlog at the busy stations, but has also helped in achieving a more balanced distribution of work across the judiciary. This is also an internally developed innovation of how we can deal with backlog, and I'm very, very grateful to our judges and judicial officers. The judiciary has made significant progress in specialized justice areas, particularly concerning children's rights and sexual and gender-based violence. We developed and implemented the Child Justice Strategy and the SGBV Strategy. The implementation of these strategies aim to make our courtrooms more sensitive and accommodating to the needs of the vulnerable groups. Aligning our vision of offering dignified and trauma-informed care to abuse victims we have established SGBV courts in 12 SGBV hotspot locations around the county. And in this, we are asking the counties to use all means to discourage violence against one another. And if they don't, their counties will be spotlighted as a hotspot. When I meet the governors, and I send our governor here to his colleagues to tell their counties, please, not to be counted as a hotspot. So far, we are dealing with Nairobi as a crisis, and we are working very closely with everybody because it is the responsibility of all of us to discourage and to eliminate violence within our homes, within our communities. These courts are dedicated to addressing the specific challenges and needs associated with SGBV cases. Our work resonates with the theme of the global 16 days of activism against gender-based violence that starts tomorrow. I therefore take this opportunity to urge all of us to speak out and join hands to root out GBV from our communities. In the last financial year, we have made significant progress in extending the geographical reach and proximity to court services. New courts were operationalized, specialized divisions established, and construction completed for our Hembu Law Court, Port Victoria Law Courts. A notable increase in accessibility was achieved through the operationalization of 57 mobile courts all over the country, mainly in the arid and semi-arid areas, thereby enhancing physical access to justice. The Supreme Court expanded its reach by establishing sub-registries in Mombasa and Kisumu, allowing litigants to file cases locally instead of traveling to Nairobi. The Court of Appeal opened new stations in Nakuru and Eldoret. The High Court established the Kapsabet station and sub-registries in Lamu and Ite.
Aya, hocio ni mucirithania munene Martha Koome akitongoria mihango ya kuruguria riboti igie mirutire ya wira ya ruhonge rwa igoti undumwe na kuruguria mubango wa miaka 10 ya uruti wa wira ruhonge-ini ruru ni imwe ya riboti iria tuguthie na mbere na gukuhinyiria kwa hinda riri tukiruge kaunti-ini ya Murang'a. Muthako wa golf ni mekirirwo kana mathako ma golf ni mekirirwo mwena wa Murang'a. Umuthi timu itiganite cikigwa kiharo-ini kia Makuyu kuria mekirire muno kwendia kaunti ya Murang'a kuhitukira muthako uyu. Tunyitanire na Wambui wa Mwangi uria uraraniria na athaki ya golf aria mekinyitie mwena uyu. Wambui wa Mwangi.
Gathoni wa ng'ang'ana ndirehoka we nawe wi thayu guku kaunti ya Murang'a ithuĩ no thũmbe na rũhuho nĩ tũrairie mwaki na tũtieanangĩte. Ũmũthĩ tũrathaka gofu na twĩ kĩharo-inĩ kĩa Makuyu Golf Club kuria turanyitanĩra na Chamber of Commerce nĩo magũkorwo marĩ na mũthako ũcio mũthenya wa ũmũthĩ, no nĩ ndĩrenda tũkorwo tũkĩnyitanĩra nao nĩgetha matũtarĩrie maũndũ marĩa magũkorwo magĩka marahutia ũũ na ũũ. Mũikarĩri gĩtĩ ũkorwo haha tũkorwo tũkĩaranĩria nawe tũraria ũhoro wa gofu. Ũmũthĩ nĩ mũnyitanĩte mwĩ Chamber of Commerce, ndaigua kwĩna mwena wa atumia kwĩna mwena wa athuri, tũtarĩrie na njĩra nguhĩ ũka haha mbere hanini.
Thengiũ mũno. Hamarĩtwa makwa njĩtagwo ndagĩtarĩ Naomi Njeri wa Kagone, mũrũgamĩrĩri wa gĩtĩ kĩa aruti a biacara gũkũ Murang'a kĩa Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry Murang'a County. Ũmũthĩ twĩ gũkũ thĩinĩ wa Makuyu Golf Club tũkĩnyitanĩra na ahũri a golf gũkũ Makuyu na aruti a biacara twina igongona ria Women in Business. Chamber of Commerce ni koragwo no horo wa kurumbuia atumia aria methini wa biashara, yuthi ona athuri andu othe. Umuthi twi haha tukinyitanira na atumia nigetha tumere ati mena uigiririki kuruta biashara na njira iria yagiriire, na chamber ni hariirie kumanyitirira, kumathomithia, kumateithiriria na horo wa mbeca, kumateithiriria horo wa kumacariria thoko, na nigetha marute biashara na njira iria yagiriire ni undu wa gwiteithia o ene, guteithia family ciao ona kunyitirira economy ya bururi.
Ni ngatho muno reke tuthikiririe nginya aya me haha ona inyu no mutuhe uge wanyu kuja hapa. Twambie na ritwa ucoke utwire kaundu kanini gaka ni ni ndukunyitira.
Okay, thengio muno ni njitagwo Julia wa Irimbo wa Karanja. Ndiye ndugumireire atumia biashara Murang'a, yani business, women in business, na tukenete muno muthenya wa umuthi twi thiini wa kiharo-ini giki tukite nigetha tuke twariria atumia na nigetha tumonie bata wa gukorwo makiruta wira, makiruta biashara mari hamwe me thiini wa kiama, na kumonia bata wa kiama to kiama ni kiega muno, andu me hamwe ni mahotaga kunyitanirira na mahotaga kwaria gwika maundu maingi me hamwe, no mundu ari wiki ndangihota gwika maundu maria arenda gwika me hamwe, na koguo nikio tuthondekete igongona riri tuteithiriirio ni ciarindi witu tunyitanire twi ithuothe nigetha tuhote kwendukitia atumia na andu othe a Murang'a thiini wa Murang'a county. Inyuothe ni twamwita ta atumia biashara muke nigetha tuhurage biashara twi hamwe na nigetha tumuonie uria guthiana uria twikaga nigetha muigue mukenete.
Hihi no ndikie na mutumia ungi umwe ukoro haha gutwikaga muthako wa gofu no waitonga. Hihi no waigua reta atumia othe aria me biashara-ini?
Ritwa njitagwo Rebecca Kibe kuma mwena wa Murang'a, mwana biashara.
Aya macio nimo maragithie na mbere county-ini ya Murang'a megie muthako wa golf kwendia county ya Murang'a. Nio tugukorwo tugitiriha nayo gikunjo gitu kia mbere kia Ndurumeni Matuuraini. Tugwikiria oro hanini ni tugucokereria niguo tukihote kuingira gikunjo-ini gia keri tuingire mohoro gitaundu ga gitegeture mutambo ucio.